Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. Welcome to Matchday Madness. It's a massive night for South Wales, massive night for Welsh football as Cardiff City take on Newport County in the EFL Trophy. Now, yes, the EFL Trophy, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter, but it is a chance for Newport to forget about their poor league form, and it is a trophy chance for Cardiff. Cardiff should be looking to win this competition with only League One and below clubs taking part and some Premier League under-21s clubs. Two clubs separated by just 12 miles. One in League One doing pretty well, one rooted to the bottom of League Two, and the first time in years that we've got a real competitive clash between the two teams. Tonight, we're going to look at the build-up, the stats, the history, the form, including the Welsh Cup and the FA Premier Cup and all these different places that Cardiff have met Newport County. But let's get to the build-up initially. So Cardiff come into this, and there's going to be a young but very confident squad under Brian Barry Murphy. They have shown flashes of real quality in League One. Even in the Cups, they have been pretty good with playing style built around composure, short passing, rotations, patterns of play and energy. But tonight's EFL rules make things a little bit tricky. Clubs must start a certain number of senior players or may either made enough appearances this season or have played in the game before or the game after the tie. It makes it complex. Why? Because there is so many players away on Welsh duty that it's ridiculous. It's international break. Usually Cardiff wouldn't be playing, but for whatever reason, maybe because they're in League One, it doesn't matter. They don't care. So you've got no Ruben Colwell, no Dylan Lawler, no Joel Colwell, no Isaac Davis, and no Ronan Kipakio. Okay, that's bad enough, because they pretty much all start, or certainly get on the pitch week in, week out. Then you have no Cian Ashford in the Welsh under-21s, no Mafiko, no Nyakahawa. The list is endless. There's too many to list, in fact. But we are going to see some very young Cardiff City footballers tonight. I expect Robert Tankovic to be in the squad. I expect at least one other 16-year-old or lower to be in the squad, as well as a selection of under-21s and 18s that aren't on Welsh duty. I would expect Spears to be in there. I would expect and hope maybe that there's some others in there as well, but we shall see. Troy Perrott, maybe Matthew Apter. These are the guys which maybe they get their chance, and I would love to see it. I've got to say, I'm quite excited for it, apart from the fact it's a local derby. Newport bringing 2,000 fans with them, just about. I'm excited because we're going to get to see the next generation of Cardiff City players with a bit of luck. But look, I'd expect the likes of, I think Trott will have a rest, but I think Callum Chambers plays. I think Gabriel Osho plays. I think Joe Bagan, I don't know, like maybe Beecher plays instead. But we've got to play a certain amount of players. So Willock, Robinson, they might start, but we might be. I hope we don't see the farcical thing that we've seen elsewhere, where you name a team and then after 2 minutes they take all the players off just to meet the criteria. It seems like a bit of a cop-out. But ultimately, this fixture isn't the bread and butter, and it isn't what Cardiff are looking for this season. We've got to focus on the league, so maybe they do need to protect the players that they can. Now, let's talk the history between the clubs. Of course, this club is going to be, this fixture is going to be feisty. The fans have always had a interesting relationship. I don't think there's the hatred there that there is between Cardiff and Swansea, but they were, back in the day, there was always scrapping and trouble. So it is what it is. Cardiff and Newport have been playing each other since the early 20th century. Their first official meeting came back in 1920 in the old Division 2, when both were climbing the English pyramid. Over the years, they've met in league fixtures, in friendlies, and more importantly, or not more importantly, but also in domestic Welsh competitions. I cannot get my words out, but there we go. Standout moments in the Welsh Cup, the FA Premier Cup, proper competitive fixtures that resulted in silverware back in the day. 79-80 Welsh Cup, Newport actually beat Cardiff 2-0 on their way to winning the tournament, a run that saw them qualify for Europe the following year. That remains one of Newport's proudest achievements, and it came at the Bluebirds' expense. Fast forward to the FA Premier Cup era, a competition that was created in 1997 for Welsh clubs playing in the English system. These matches were spicy, local bragging rights at stake. Cardiff and Newport met multiple times at the tournament, reaching the latter stages. Of course, those were high-stake games, competitive Welsh fixtures, not friendlies by any means, and they meant something to fans across South Wales. So tonight, EFL Trophy might not have the glamour of the league, the Premier League, the FA Cup, whatever it may be, but it carries the same energy. It's a rival. Those old Welsh Cup nights were special. Local pride, bragging rights, a bit of fight, a bit of desire, and hopefully a full house. A chance to remind everyone who's the most dominant side in Welsh football. And on that, should Cardiff City win this evening, and should they beat Wrexham later this month, Cardiff would have then beaten all of the professional and EFL Welsh clubs within a 12-month period, just to say that. So that would cement us as not only the capital of Wales, but also the most dominant Welsh football team. Regardless of league placing, we know where it's at. For Cardiff, the focus is on rhythm, control. Brian Barry Murphy's side will want to dominate possession. They'll want to use the board intelligently. You can expect to see a mixture of players, of course, with Dylan Lawler out. Maybe Will Fish comes in, Callum Chambers, Osho, etc. Will Spears, I would really like to see at fullback. Midfield, I think it's going to be patched together with so many away, but Wintel's going to be in there. And then Turnbull and somebody I would really like to see. I'd like to see Troy Parrott start. I'd actually like to see Wintel with Troy Parrott and Tankovic, but I think that might be a little bit too adventurous. But I would love to see it. I gotta say, I really am excited to see these young players, and hopefully they will express themselves, not feel the pressure if they get the opportunity. Cardiff's goal tonight is simple: keep the standards high, keep building the culture, no matter who's playing. Every game matters. Cup nights like this are a perfect testing ground for young footballers. Newport, on the other hand, look, they will know technically it's going to be difficult to go toe-to-toe with Cardiff. They are having a nightmare season so far. But make no mistake, having spoken to a few Newport fans and people at the radio station, Newport haven't quite been as bad as their results seem. Dave Hughes is a good manager. He's a real high-rated coach as well. So is it a case that he doesn't have the players to implement what he wants, or have they just had a bad start? I'm not sure. Obviously, any manager cannot continually lose. Ultimately, they will lose their job. But this could be a good opportunity for Newport to kickstart their season. If they can find a way to get a good performance and not lose, then I think that's a real good result for them, and maybe that kick-starts the season. They're going to look for set pieces. Newport have always been dangerous from dead balls, and if they can nick a first goal, the pressure swings on Cardiff, and the 2,000 strong Newport fans will be loud, you can imagine. The problem for Newport has been consistency. They concede a lot of late goals, and they've struggled to maintain structure when they do fall behind. And on the opposite side of that, Cardiff are very, very difficult to play against if you go behind. Cardiff have won 3 of the last 5, averaging 1.7 goals per game, conceding goals at home against Bradford and of course at the weekend. So that tight defence that they've had all season has looked a little leaky recently, so Newport need to look for that. By contrast, Newport don't have any trouble scoring goals, but they absolutely struggle to keep a clean sheet. And while Cardiff have been strong at home, Newport have struggled. So it'll be a real interesting one. The bookies, the analysts agree Cardiff are the favourites, of course. Most predictions lean towards a 2-0, a 3-0. I think it could be tight just because of the amount of changes that Cardiff will have to make. It makes you so disjointed when you've got to make 9 or 10 changes. But from a technical point of view, what an opportunity for some of these players. Whether it's squad players who are not playing, whether it's players who are coming back from injury, whether it's young footballers making their debut, they have an opportunity to show what they can do and show that they can play football for Cardiff City and go on to play at a higher level. But you know what they say about derbies? Logic, technical ability doesn't always apply, and it doesn't always matter. Newport have scored in most of their games this season. Cardiff are going to rotate heavily, so don't rule out a tense first half before the Bluebirds' quality shines through. I'm going to go with a 3-1 to Cardiff, but I won't be shocked if it's a tight one. It's a derby, and Newport will be bang up for this, make no mistake. I expect some tackles. I expect it to be feisty. I expect Newport to get in our face physically. Cardiff just got to try and build the momentum again. Try and get back to keeping clean sheets and stop conceding silly goals. It's a big opportunity for Matthew Turner, you would think. And yeah, we'll have some team news later maybe. The boys will be back later with the post-match show. And don't forget, if you haven't watched it already, Cup of Tea with Si started yesterday morning. We got another one this morning. This morning's one is a bit more jovial and it's a bit more happy. Feeling a bit better today. But thank you so much for the support. As always, this has been Matchday Madness. Newport County versus Cardiff City tonight at the Cardiff City Stadium. 7:45 kickoff. Make sure you're there. I know it's only the EFL trophy, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go. Keep the faith. In a bit. This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the Spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.